Shannon, in my entire career, I've never saw Shannon with a drink. Ever. Yeah. And then so I kind of started to watch him, and then we kind of went our own separate ways because I'm like, you're going to take that route. I can't go that route. Never can go that route.
Bourbon drinking, Scott whiskey drinking, blunt smoking, do-rag wearing, Malcolm X impersonation. And Ray sitting there like, man, this dude really likes white girls. And he don't do all this drinking and smoking that he's pretending to do. These beliefs that he's espousing, he would never do what Colin Kaepernick did. Shannon Sharpe would never do. So why is he promoting it like it's the greatest thing? He did it for money. He did it for fame. The world had something to offer him, and he took what the world had to offer him.
Jason Whitlock reacts to Ray Lewis calling out Shannon Sharpe. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
But it's Ray Lewis explaining what happened to his relationship with Shannon Sharpe. It's fascinating. It's powerful. Let's play the clip, and then I'll explain.
Shannon Sharpe, did you think he was one day going to be a good TV guy personality?
Yeah.
And would he say he's going to do it?
Yes, he had already started prepping.
How much before he retired did he come?
He'd been started.
Oh, so he's known he's going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So you're not surprised by the success he's having with his podcast and TV and him and Skip and Stephen A., all that stuff?
No, I'm not surprised. I'm shocked at his content. I wouldn't, in a million years, the things that Shannon has said now or did now, I would never believe that Shannon will say or do any of this.
Like what?
Simply, I take drinking. Shannon, in my entire career, I've never saw Shannon with a drink. Ever. Yeah, and then so I kind of started to watch him, and then we kind of went our own separate ways because I'm like, you're going to take that route. I can't go that route. Never can go that route. And that route is to become so worldly that you become popular because you're talking about ignorance, right? A lot of times, a lot of these gossip conversations that they're having and bringing up all this stuff, I'm not going to do that to nobody. I'm not in the business for that. I'm in life to try to teach people what does it mean to be a better man or get back to the kingdom. Everybody wants the follower. Everybody wants to be popular. Everybody wants to make money. That's a tightrope into what you call influence and popularity. Right? The devil has the ability to make you popular. God has the ability to give you influence that when people see you, they see an image of him. And that's the thing for me that started to switch with not just Shannon, but just a couple of people. I'm like, wow, you would switch out like that? And I think men, given these new platforms, we've overrode what the platform is actually for. Platform is supposed to help somebody find a new direction. We don't help. Everybody just gets on. Everybody's talking.
A lot of people been calling out Shannon Sharpe as far as that Unc character with the Henny and the black and mild. So people been saying some things, but I didn't know Ray Lewis was really taking it to heart. Like the person that I known when we played football, 25 years ago, never drank, never did any of that. All of a sudden, he has that character. He's promoting his drink. It's doing great, but at the same time, a lot of people feel as though Shannon Sharpe is selling out, and looks like Shannon Sharpe and Ray Lewis' relationship is officially over. I guess they're not on the best of terms. Ray Lewis, he wants to represent himself a certain way, and he doesn't like the way that Shannon Sharpe is portraying himself in the media.
This is why I will always defend Ray Lewis. This is why, I love and respect Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is flawed. He's imperfect. There are many of you that won't get over what you believe happened in Atlanta that Super Bowl weekend. Many of you just love trolling and destroying athletes that were involved in some way, in some sort of mistake. And Ray Lewis, when he covered up her. I'm not going to debate you on that. I think you have the wrong narrative. I think you miss out on who Ray Lewis is. I've always believed that Ray was and is the heir to the throne left by Jim Brown. Jim Brown was one of the most authentic, real people I've ever met and known in my life. Jim Brown was flawed, made some mistakes, but Jim Brown was sincere and authentic in his desire to help young men, particularly, and it didn't matter the color, but for Jim, particularly for young black men that got lost in gang violence and gang culture, Jim had a sincere desire to help them. And when I listen to Ray Lewis talk, and he's talking about like, hey man, you have a opportunity to be a representation of God and to influence people into a better way. And Ray is basically saying, I'm not going to just sell out for money. I'm not going to do any and everything for money.
Yeah, it seemed like Ray Lewis standing on business. You don't really see him out there in media. He may have an appearance here and there, but he stays low key. And by him calling out Shannon Sharpe this way, he's letting it be known to the media like, yeah, I may do a show here and there, but I'm not going to sell out, or what he perceives to be selling out. And again, going back to Shannon Sharpe, he came a long way from his NFL career. The CBS situation had a long run, didn't work out. I believe he got fired. Had his undisputed run with FS1. It was great. ESPN, and then unfortunately things didn't go well, and in his private life kind of backfired. So Ray Lewis is letting it be known like, look, I ain't got no real issues, but I can't really be around you like that, knowing that that's not the same person that I known. So it's going to be interesting to see if Shannon Sharpe responds to this. He had a couple nightcap episodes, but he didn't address it, but maybe they talk behind the scenes. It's unfortunate that Ray Lewis and Shannon Sharpe aren't on good terms.
And that's what really makes Ray dangerous. That's what makes people revile Ray. That's what makes people not want to see the truth about Ray and what happened in Atlanta and what happened in repentance from Atlanta, and how Ray pivoted and brought out the best in himself. And in no way am I suggesting that Ray Lewis is perfect. But what he said here about Shannon Sharpe is what frustrated me about Shannon Sharpe, and what frustrates me about a lot of these guys is there's nothing they won't do for money. There's nothing inauthentic they won't do for money. And so Ray is sitting there like a lot of people was like, hey man, Shannon and drinking, that was never him. And now he's, on air, smoking blunts or pretending to smoke blunts, and the whole alcohol thing is like, this dude done switched up for money.
Nah, that's what it is sometimes. You dangle a lot of money in front of people. Eventually, they may switch up. So I don't know if Shannon's really out there turning up like that. But if he's making a lot of money off it, he may have to switch sides a little bit and, act like he's a certain way when in actuality he may not. So again, is Shannon Sharpe really out there doing these things? Maybe so. Is he drinking, doing all that? Who knows? Maybe after his career, he's a little bit more relaxed, not as disciplined. But it's just a shame that him and Ray Lewis ain't cool like that no more. They seem like they had a good vibe on TV, but Ray Lewis is standing on business.
I'm not trying to beat up Shannon Sharpe. I'm trying to get you to understand that everybody knows who has really sold out, who has really done things that aren't consistent with their authentic self, and they've done it solely for money, and everybody pretends like those are the real ones. And they're not. They're not. And part of, if you really study the history between Ray and Shannon, and I was there in 2017, I believe, 2018, when Shannon and Ray's relationship went opposite directions, it was over the Colin Kaepernick deal. And Ray Lewis and the whole kneeling deal, and Ray taking 2 knees with the team, and Shannon and him being very close friends and former teammates, and Shannon being critical of Ray on Undisputed. And Ray took offense to that. Like, man, I thought we were thicker than this. Man, you know me, you know my heart, you know what I'm about. Why are you doing this to me? And Shannon would, well, it's my job, I'm in the media. It's like, nah, man. The kind of friends that we were supposed to be, the kind of brotherhood we were supposed to share, and the way you know me, this is not how you should be talking about me. This is not the light you should be casting me in. And they fell apart and have gone their separate ways ever since.
Yeah, that Colin Kaepernick thing did kind of mess up their relationship. I remember that back and forth on Undisputed. Don't really know the full story, but looks like there was some pushback on Shannon Sharpe's end. Ray Lewis, he believes in what he believes in, and it looks like Shannon Sharpe was like, I got to call it like how I see it. That's my job. So again, when it comes to money, when it comes to your job, you can't really have loyalty. You have to call it like how it is. But just as far as Shannon Sharpe's character, it's been in question for many years now. And with everything being exposed about Shannon Sharpe and his private life, looks like certain things about his character may be true as far as the way that people are calling it. So again, man, it's unfortunate. Shannon Sharpe is being exposed. And when your good homie Ray Lewis is calling you out, that's when you know it's real serious.
And so when you're sitting there like Ray Lewis and a guy is putting on a Malcolm X, a beer drinking bourbon drinking, Scott whiskey drinking, blunt smoking, do-rag wearing, Malcolm X impersonation, and Ray sitting there like, man, this dude really likes white girls, and he don't do all this drinking and smoking that he's pretending to do. These beliefs that he's espousing, he would never do what Colin Kaepernick did. Shannon Sharpe would never do. So why is he promoting it like it's the greatest thing? He did it for money. He did it for fame. The world had something to offer him, and he took what the world had to offer him. And hats off to him. But I don't blame Ray for like, hey, I'm going to keep my distance. That's not me. There are people like Ray. There are others that are like Ray that like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to acquire popularity for my ability to lead young men the wrong direction. Hats off to Ray Lewis. Again, I'm not sure when this interview was done. I'm not sure why it keeps disappearing from the internet. It appears to me, because I think I saw a picture of Patrick Bet-David and Ray Lewis together within the last week. I think they spoke together out in Las Vegas or at the MGM Grand somewhere. And so I'm thinking they did the interview in the last week, but I don't know. Maybe it's a year.
Again, is Shannon Sharpe selling out? Maybe a little bit. There may be some truth to that. Again, Shannon Sharpe ran up a huge bag. The Cat Williams interview, his independent platforms, Club Shay Shay Nightcap, had an ESPN run, had some huge sponsorship deals that were kind of suspended. Looks like he's getting them back. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. If he's an entertainer, he just needs to let it be known like, look, I'm an entertainer. I may make jokes. Comedians make jokes. Everything may not be true about it, but it looks like Shannon Sharpe, he's kind of bullheaded. You know, he has a huge ego. He's not going to admit if he's wrong or if he's, selling out or just trying to get this money. He alludes to it, but he never really said like, this is all an act. I'm just playing a character. So is he turning up? Is he drinking? Is he smoking? Who knows? But he's getting a lot of money from it, and Ray Lewis ain't feeling it.